Hello guys, my name is Prince and this is Math Center. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Post your comments and questions on my social media handles and I'll respond to it. We are on the topic algebraic expressions. In the previous video, we learned how to factorize quadratic trinomials. In this video, we are going to learn how to multiply and divide algebraic expressions involving fractions. So we have some examples to learn how to do that. We have been told to simplify the following and we have been given from question 1 up to question 6. So we take them one after the other and learn how to multiply and divide algebraic expressions involving fractions. So let's begin with the first one. We have 3x squared over 4y squared times 2y raised to the power 3 over 9x. So the main goal we have here is to multiply the numerator with the numerator and the denominator with the denominator. But if you have common factors, you first have to cancel the common factors out. So a common factor on the numerator will cancel a common factor on the denominator, and a common factor on the numerator here can cancel a common factor on the denominator. In the same way, a common factor on the numerator here can cancel a common factor on the denominator here, and a common factor on the numerator here can cancel a common factor on the denominator here. So the first thing that you have to do is to check out for common factors. So how is that done? Now we can see in this example that we have 3 here. Now you have 3 on the numerator here. There is 9 on the denominator here. We know that 3 and 9, 3 is a common factor of 9. So 3 can cancel itself 1 and cancel 9 3 times. Now we also have s on the denominator here. We have s squared on the numerator here. So s will cancel itself and cancel one of the x's here, so that we have just s raised to the power 1. So we can see from here that there is no x again to cancel. So we move on to the other side. Now we have 2 on the numerator here, so 2 can cancel itself 1 and cancel 4 on the denominator here 2 times. Now we know that we have y raised to the power 2 here and y raised to the power 3. So y raised to the power 2 can cancel itself 1. It will cancel y raised to the power 3. It will take 2 out of the 3 so that we have 1. If you watch the video on indices, you are going to understand this very well. So you can see from here that we've cancelled all the common factors out such that the numerator is now s. So the denominator here is now s. The denominator, everything is gone. We are now left with 2 because we are going to have 2 times 1, which is 2. When you come here, we've cancelled 2. So 2 cancels itself 1. Here the y raised to the power 3 cancelled y. Here the y raised to the power 2 cancelled y raised to the power 3. So we are having only y raised to the power 1, which is 1. So we have 1 times y, which is y. And here everything cancelled and we got 3. So we are going to have s over 2 times y over 2. Now since this is in the simplest form, you multiply s with y. That is, the numerator multiply the numerator, the denominator multiply the denominator. S times y in algebra is written as sy. 2 times 3 is 6. So we have xy over 6. So we have simplified this. Let's take the next example. Now whenever you have something like this, we have a over as plus 2a squared times x squared minus 4a squared all over x minus 2a. As we did in the previous example, what you have to look for are common factors so that you can cancel out. Now whenever you have something like this, what should come to your mind is that you have to factorize something out so that you can cancel. So you begin by factorizing out. Now when you come to this part, here is a, so you can't factorize anything there. So but when you come here, you know that we have a here, we also have a here. So a is a common factor, so we can factorize that out. So we are going to have a into bracket s plus 2a. Then we come to this side. Now when you come here, you can see that we have x minus 4a squared. We learned that whenever you see something like this, you should begin to think of difference of 2 squares. Now we can change 4 to 2 squared. Now immediately we change 4 to 2 squared. We can write this as a over a into bracket s plus 2a times x minus 2a all squared over s minus a. Now s minus 2a all squared is a difference of 2 squares. So let's write that in its general form. Now when you write it, we know that you are going to get a over a into bracket s plus 2a times s minus 2a in one bracket, s plus 2a in the other bracket, all over x minus 2a. So this is how to expand this difference of 2 squares. If you watch the video on the principles of difference of 2 squares, you are going to get this. Now since we factorize everything out, you look for common factors and cancel. So we can see from here that a here is a factor, so a can cancel a. Remember, what is on the numerator cancels what is on the denominator. Now when you come here, we have x minus 2a as a common factor. We have s minus 2a here, so s minus 2a in the here can cancel this s minus 2a. Now when we come here, we also know that we have s plus 2a here, and we have another s plus 2a here. So s plus 2a on the numerator can cancel s plus 2a on the denominator. So you see everything is cancelled out. So this one cancels itself. You are going to get 1. Here a will cancel itself 1. Here is 1. So you are going to get 1 times 1. Here this one will cancel itself 1. Here is 1. So we are having 1 times 1. And here is 1. So we are going to have 1 over 1 times 1 over 1. You know that 1 over 1 times 1 over 1 is 1, because you are going to have 1 times 1, which is 1. Let's move on to the next example. Just as we did for the previous example, in this example also, we are going to factorize some common factors out so that we can cancel. So we look at the first one. This looks like something we can factorize, right? So we can factorize 2x out. So we factorize 2x. The numerator is going to give us 2x into bracket 3x plus y, all in bracket, then over 5x times 15 over 5z times 15z squared over 3x plus y. So we can see right away from here that we can cancel some things out. We can see from here that 5 is here. 5 can cancel itself 1 and cancel 15 3 times. Now we see z here, we see z squared here, so z can cancel z squared. This will cancel one of the z, so that we have z raised to the power 1. We have 3x plus 1 plus y as a factor here, so 3x plus y here can cancel 3x plus y here. So here will also cancel itself 1. So we are going to have 2x over 1, since everything here is cancelled, times 3z. Remember here was z squared, and this z cancelled one of them, so 3z over 1. So we are going to have 2x times 3z all over 1. We are going to have 6z xz. Remember that when we are multiplying, the coefficients will multiply, so 2 will multiply 3. We are going to have 6. Then you have x and z. Now let's pick the next example. This is on division. So we have 4a squared plus 8ab all over 3 divided by 5ab plus 10b squared all over 9. Now whenever you have a division, this is what you have to do. Keep what is on the left hand side. Now this is what I mean by what is on the left hand side. Here is the left hand side, and the one here is on the right hand side. So I'm using LHS for left hand side and RHS for right hand side. Keep what is on the left hand side like that, and reciprocate what is on the right hand side. When I say reciprocate, I mean that turn it upside down. So if you have a over b divided by c over d, this is what I mean. Keep what is on the left hand side, so keep a over b. Change the division sign to multiplication and rotate what was here, so d over c. So that is the exact thing we are going to do here. We are going to keep what was on the left hand side. So here I'm going to clean this so that you get what I want to do. Okay, so you will keep what was on the left hand side, which is 4a squared plus 8ab all over 3. We will keep that. Then we will rotate what was on right hand side, what was on the right hand side. So the numerator will now become the denominator, and the denominator will be the numerator, as we are shown here. So you turn it upside down. So whenever you have a division, keep what is on the left hand side, change the division to multiplication, and turn what was on the right hand side upside down. Now from here we can continue as we have been doing for the division. So this is what we are going to do. We look for common factors and we cancel out. So first, let's factorize. We can see from here that we can factorize 4a out. So if you factorize 4a out, you are going to have 4a into bracket a plus 2b all over 3 times 9 over, here we factorize 5b out. So 5b into bracket a plus 2b. Now let's cancel out. So 3 will cancel itself 1, cancel 9 3 times. You can see that we have 2 plus ab as a factor here, 2 plus ab as a factor. So 2 plus ab will cancel this 2 plus ab. So this is now in its simplest form. So we are going to have, we are left with 4a here. The denominator here is 1, so we are going to have 4a over 1 times, here when 3 cancelled it, we are left with 3. So 3 over, we cancelled a plus 2b out, so we now a plus 2b out, so we now have 5b here. So we are going to have the numerator multiplying the numerator, the denominator multiplying the denominator. So 4a times 3 all over 1 times 5b, and that is going to give us 12a all over 5b. Let's take the next example. We have 4y squared minus 15y minus 4 all over 3y squared minus y minus 4 divided by 4y squared minus 3y minus 1 all over 3y minus 7y plus 4. This looks long, but it follows the same principle that we have done. We've learned how to factorize quadratic trinomials, and we are going to use that a lot in this example. So just as we did for the previous video, this is an example of division. So you keep what is on the left hand side, which means that you are going to keep the left hand side, the first part. You change the division sign to multiplication, then you rotate what was on the right hand side, you turn it upside down. So what was on the numerator side will come as the denominator, and what was on the denominator will come as the numerator, as we can see here. Now the next step is to factorize. These are quadratic trinomials, so you factorize using the same principles as quadratic trinomials. You know that to do it for this, you multiply 4 by 4, you are going to 4 by negative 4, you are going to get negative 16. So we are looking for two numbers that when you multiply you get negative 16, when you add you get negative 15. Those two numbers will be negative 16 and 1. So you place negative 15 with those two numbers, as you can see here. You do the same factorization for this part, you do it for this part, and you do it for this part, as we can see in this example. We learned more about this in the video on quadratic trinomials. So if you are facing any difficulty, I would advise that you watch that video, then you continue on from there. So from here, when we factorize these out, we are going to have the numerator part for this 4y plus 1 in one bracket, 4 minus y minus 4 in another bracket, divided by 3y minus 4 in one bracket, y plus 1 in another bracket, times 3y minus 4 in one bracket here, y minus 1 in one bracket here, 4y plus 1 in one bracket, y minus 1 in another bracket. Now since these are all factorized out, we look for common factors to cancel. So we can see that we have 4y plus 1 here, we have 4y plus 1 here, so we can cancel. We have 3y minus 4 here, we have 3y minus 4 here, so we can cancel. Then we have y minus 1 here, we have another y minus 1 here, so we can cancel. So everything here is cancelled, so it means that we are having 1. Here is cancelled, we have 1, here is cancelled, we have 1. So we are going to have 1 times 4 minus y minus 4, which is y minus 4, all over 1 times y plus 1, which is y plus 1. Remember that the whole place here is 1. If you multiply this by 1, you are going to have y minus 4 over y plus 1. Now remember that here we can't cancel y out because it is not a common factor. So unless before you can cancel, make sure that you have factorized it out before you can cancel. Let's take the last example. We have x squared minus y squared all over x minus y all squared. So here you use the principles of difference of two squares. When we watched that video, we saw that if you have x squared minus y squared, if you use the principles of difference of two squared, x squared minus y squared will give us x minus y in one bracket, x plus y in one bracket. We also know from indices that x minus y all squared is the same as x minus y in one bracket, x minus y in another bracket. So from here you can see that x minus y is a common factor, x minus y here, so they cancel out. So we now have x plus y over x minus y. Remember, we can't cancel either x or y because they are not common factors, and we can't cancel the whole thing because here is x plus y, here is x minus y, and they are different. Thank you for watching this video. Pick more examples of multiplication and division of algebraic expressions involving fractions. See you in the next video, where we will learn how to add and subtract algebraic expressions involving fractions. Bye bye.